Hello strong habits people, and welcome to another video. I was reading through this post from JT Performance talking about the 6 habits athletes should develop outside of training to increase performance. I thought to make this video to talk about how can you apply these habits to get better. And as the name of this channel suggests, we should all be striving to develop our strength habits. I won't go into much detail about the first 2 habits, sleep and nutrition, but I will focus more on 4 other points: reflective on practice routine, starting your sport, stress management, and planning your week. All I have to say for nutrition and sleep is that you are already doomed if any of the 2 is suffering, even by a little. It is the foundation of the pyramid for you to recover and build body mass and strength. Make sure you put some effort into getting enough calories in and hitting your protein intake every day. For sleep, try to have a good bedtime routine by going to bed on the same time and making sure you're getting at least 7 hours of sleep to reap the benefit of it. Now let's get to the meat and potatoes of this video. First habit, reflect on practice routine. My strongman coach Clint Dufton talked to me about football teams in the NFL, going through game tapes and watching all their plays one by one to figure out where can they improve. Then he asked me, why the heck wouldn't an athlete do the same? In 2 weeks from now, I'm competing in one of the biggest strongman events of my life, UK Strongest Man. I've been training for this event the past 12 weeks and I pay attention to everything. All the little details to get to the fastest time I can get on the events of the competition, my technique on static lifts, and every possible way to get better in what I do. I record everything on my training and I go through it multiple times. Me and my coach are observing and looking for any openings to make me a professional. It can be improving my mechanics on the deadlift, it could be the way I pick up the sandbags, it could be how close I stand to the yoke before loading the stone over it, and these are all practical changes that can improve your performance on the day. It can literally be the difference between a good performance on an event or first place overall. Don't let this slip. Study your sport. Keep an open mind in how you do things. Be willing to learn from others, especially the best in what you do. I consider myself a student of the sport of strongman, and I learn so much by watching shows on the TV with professionals competing with each other. I picked up so many tips I can implement in my training, like how the athletes move, but also how the champions talk before each event. I can understand their mindset and psychology. They know already they are the best in what they do, and they are ready to prove it. Another thing the very best in strongman do exceptionally well is being methodical and having a strategy for the whole event. Going 100% from the beginning to the end is guaranteed to get you burned out early. A lot of athletes preserve their energy for the next event, the ones they're good at, by trying to do some damage control on their bad events. You can't be good in everything after all. For example, if deadlifts are not your best event and the event calls for reps in 1 minute, it's better to try and stay on the top of the board, but not overdo it and crush your body before the next event. That way you can still be competitive, but now you have the energy left for the current events, like farmers and yoke. Enough energy to win those events and be at the top overall. Other than watching the pros in the open category, I watch a lot of lightweight categories, close to mine. The under 80 kilos, under 90s, even the under 105s. The way they move is very similar to mine, so I can apply a lot of things in my training style. Stress management. Stress comes from a lot of sources and in different forms. Physical stress is the one athletes are most familiar with. We cause it to ourselves, then we recover from it and repeat. With experience and a lot of practice, a professional athlete should know how to handle and manage that stress to recover more optimally, week to week and month to month. In addition to the physical stress comes the everyday life stress. I believe all stress goes in one cup. The stress cup can be filled from different bottles, quote to quote, of stress. The point is that the cup affects our body and recovery day to day. If we let it accumulate and the cup is full, it will spill out. Learning how to regulate both mental and physical stress has a huge impact on performance and recovery. I will give you an example of how interconnected the physical and mental stresses are. Have you ever had a hard training session or you've been training hard the whole week, hitting PRs and smashing it in the gym? Probably the next few days you'll notice some emotional changes, like lack of concentration and focus, low self-esteem, poor motivation, or even depression. These are all effects of hormonal changes in our bodies. It's the spillage of the stress cup. Consider those signs as a message from the body to be cautious and not to crush your head on the ceiling. Something that lately helped me manage overall stress is meditating. I give 1 hour every day to myself along with my thoughts. It feels like I take a break from everything and everyone. A part of my meditation routine is also positive thinking and visualizing the things I want to achieve. My body feels like it can breathe again after meditating, and I have a clear vision on where I'm heading. Last but not least is having a solid plan for your whole week, not only in training but also in work, socializing with friends, family obligations, and anything you do regularly, really. Training for UK Strongest Man takes a huge portion of my time. The weeks closer to the competition day are more and more demanding. Good planning always helps me manage my time and give enough time to myself for training and recovery. I also manage my workload so I don't end up overwhelmed and burn out. The week before the finals, I spend a lot of time with myself and my own thoughts. I am laser focused on what I'm going for, and I remind myself I have what it takes to do it. I can see my destiny clearly. With good planning, I minimize external stimulus that will distract me or take away from my focus. That's it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching and see you on the next one. I gotta go now. I got a dream to catch.